Hello everyone, and let's proceed with this video lecture. In this video lecture we will be moving ahead on this kinematics, and till now what we have covered in kinematic, apart from the basic definitions, 1D motion. So let me quickly go through this 1D motion so that you recall all the points. So in this 1D motion we have this basic equations or basic definitions we can call is, first is V is defined as dx by dt. So we take this as a first basic equation or definition. Second, we take A is equal to dB by dt. So these are the two relations or definitions that helps us to solve any problem in one-dimensional motion. Then we can rewrite this A as d2x upon dt2. We can also rewrite this acceleration as a v dB by dx. So all these basic definitions are basically referring to two equations that are useful in one-dimensional motion. And in particular, if A is a constant, if A has a constant magnitude as well as direction. So if A is a constant in that 1D motion, so we are able to write some simplified version of these equations, and we remember there's a four equations. First is V is equal to u plus at. Second is x is equal to ut plus half at square. And next is v square is equal to u square plus 2ax. And finally one more that we write is xn, the displacement during nth second is u plus a by 2 twice n minus 1. We can also make one more equation by replacing or by eliminating a out of these two equations. So ultimately, if you look carefully, you will find these two equations are the main equations, and rest of the equations are derived from these two equations. Anyway, so these equations are valid for constant acceleration in case of one-dimensional motion, and they have been written in terms of magnitude, and because we know the direction is included because they are going to be either plus x direction or minus x direction. Here these u, v, a, they are vector quantities and they can carry their sign. So if they are having the plus sign, that means they are moving in the positive direction, and if they are having a negative sign, that means their direction is in a negative x direction. Now if we need to write these equations in terms of proper vectors, so they are called vector equations of motion, and these vector of equations of motion will be true for all the dimensions, whether they are one-dimensional, two-dimensional, three-dimensional. Now in this case we are considering the simplest case again, so we are considering this acceleration to be constant. So if a vector is constant, so if a vector is constant, and no matter in how many direction that particle is moving, then we can write the following equation in terms of vector. So basically this equation can be transformed. So first equation, if we transformed in terms of vector, so it appears like this: v vector is equal to u vector plus at, a vector into t. If you are interested in knowing how this is coming, then you can recall the derivation of this first equation, and that we had from basic definition: A is equal to dV by dt. Put the arrow, go for integration, and you will find this thing. And similarly we can write the displacement equation, that is second. So let's say displacement is written by r vector, so it's going to be u vector into t plus half a vector into t square. So that will be giving us the displacement of the particle moving with constant acceleration in vector format. So that is in vector format. Next we can write this third one as well. Now in vectors we know if we have any vector v, so v vector dot v vector, if we do, we will find magnitude of v square, that means simply v square. So square of a vector, that means magnitude square of a vector, can always be written as a dot product. So we will be writing it as a v dot v is equal to, on the right hand side you can imagine what it is going to be. In place of u square you will write u vector dot u vector plus 2 times, there has to be acceleration, which is a vector quantity, and a displacement, which is also a vector quantity, and they are going to be multiplied. And we have understood in vectors there are two types of multiplication. Either we need to place cross or dot. Can you think of what we should place over here? So principle of homogeneity will say whatever is written left side or similar term has to be on the right hand side, or all the terms should be of same category. So you'll find this is going to be scalar number, this is going to be scalar number, so this must be scalar number. And since it is going to be scalar, so there cannot be cross, because cross gives us a vector quantity. So there must be a dot. So by argument you can say this is going to be a dot. So this is how you can also write the equation, which is third, in terms of vector format. And similarly we can write the last equation, the displacement during nth second. Displacement during nth second is going to be written as u vector plus a vector divided by 2. We can divide a vector by a number. We can also multiply a vector by a number. We know the rules. So this will become the fourth equation of motion, in which the acceleration remains constant. So if the acceleration remains constant, writing equation becomes quite simple, and we can also write in terms of vector if they are moving, if the particle is moving in any number of dimensions. And if it is moving in one dimension, then we will have these equations to be used. So we can use these equations in one dimensional case, and we can use these equations for all dimensions, whether it's 1, 2, 3, and both are going to give us desirable result. Here these equations, as I told, are carrying magnitude as well as direction, so they are also in terms of vector, but we are not indicating vector because the direction is binary, either plus x or minus x. Here the direction can be anything, hence we need to put the vectors properly. How to use these equations? One example will illustrate that thing. So let's consider this example. This example reads find magnitude of velocity at a t equal to 2 seconds. So at this particular time we need to find the magnitude of velocity. Given that if a particle starts with velocity 2i cap plus j cap minus 2k cap meter per second and has acceleration j cap plus k cap meter per second square. So here you see that the particle is not moving on a one dimension, because this initial velocity in some direction, then acceleration is in some another direction, so it's going to be multi-dimensional motion. But still we can find the velocity. So what we are going to find velocity? We are going to write v vector is equal to u vector plus a vector into t. What is not to be done is this: we should not write v is equal to u plus at, because in this particular case this will not be valid. This will be valid, and this is because the vector says so. Here in this thing, in this case, it is saying that magnitude of velocity is equal to magnitude of u plus magnitude of a into t. So if you find the magnitude of u, which is out of this, and magnitude of a out of this, and put this t together in this format and find this v, this will be wrong, because that's not the valid equation for the cases when the motion is not in one dimensional, right? So we cannot use this, rather we need to use this, and you'll find both may give you a different result. Both may give you different result. So since they can give different results, so we need to know which one is valid, which one is not valid. So this one is valid. So for that sake, what we need to do, we will say v vector is equal to, we will be writing this u as such, that means in form of vector 2i cap plus j cap minus 2k cap, and then plus a, which is j cap plus k cap, into t, which is 2. So this will become 2j cap plus 2k cap, this term, and then you can add them together. So it's going to be 2I cap plus 2j plus j will become 3j cap. You can do calculation then onward, that's not an issue. 2k cap plus and 2k cap minus will cancel out, so it becomes simply 2I cap plus 3j cap, and if you want to write, you can write 0k cap, but that has nothing to do with anything. So from here you got this velocity as a vector quantity, which is twice I cap plus 3j cap. That's a velocity in meter per second at time t equal to 2. So that's our answer. But it is asking for magnitude, so out of this we can find the magnitude. So magnitude of velocity is going to be this, which is going to be square root of 2 square plus 3 square. So you are going to get it as 4 plus 9. So ultimately it will become square root of 30 meter per second. Now if you calculate the same question, solves themselves same question on using this equation, you will find a different answer of this, right? And this will not be able to tell you what is the direction of the velocity at that instant. So this is wrong, keep in mind, and that's a common mistake people do make. And this is the magnitude. Once we got the magnitude and direction, it's going to be easy to find the direction. So how we are going to write the direction? So direction is going to be vector divided by its magnitude. So that's going to be the direction, and this is going to be magnitude. So that means we are able to find the velocity in its complete format. Here it's simply asking for magnitude, hence we can say root 13 is going to be our answer. So let me give one question to you to solve, and the question is written over here. It says a particle has initial velocity, which is 5 meter per second. Direction is given, so this velocity is in this direction, and its acceleration is also known to us, and we need to find the displacement's magnitude in this time, that means t equal to 2 seconds. So you just solve it and give the answer in the comment section, and use the vector equation that we have just talked about. So till now we have understood vector equation of motion if acceleration is constant. So we can also take the case in which acceleration is not constant, and we can write the equations of motion in terms of vector format. So here we can write in short, or this thing, that vector equations of motion. So we are going to write vector equations of motion, and this acceleration is not constant, so acceleration is variable, or we can say not constant. So if it is variable, so we need to write the equation in terms of differentiation and integration, that's all. That means we will be using the first definition, this a vector is equal to dv vector by dt. So this will be used to find out the relation between a, v and t. Since a is a variable, that means a is given to us. Generally in motion, a is given to us. So a is given to us, so we would like to find what the v is, that means velocity at any instant. So what we need to do, we need to write it as a dv vector is equal to a vector dt, in the very similar fashion as we had derivations of those. Then next point would be to integrate both sides. So we can integrate both sides, so it's going to be dv vector integration is equal to integration of a vector into dt. And in integration we have talked about the constant terms can be taken outside, and vector and directions, they are treated equally in integration. So there has to be a limit over here, so we will say initial velocity u, initial time 0, final velocity v, final time t. Now integrating the left hand side becomes easy because it's a simply v, it's going to come out as a v vector. So whatever is coming with d, that becomes the integration of integration dv. So there's going to be having limit as well, so initial to final. We are just applying the rules of integration. Here we can take this a outside, Once we take this a outside, why we are we can take a outside only if it's a constant, pardon for that. So a here in this particular case we are considering it as a variable. Since it's a variable, so whatever a is given to us, we will be placing that a over here. So a will not be taken outside, it will be remaining there, and whatever the definition in the question is given to us, that has to be placed over there. So we can wait for the question to give that value. So we can say it's going to be integration a vector dt. That's all. So from here the left hand side can be simplified as a v vector minus u vector. So ultimately we got that equation v vector minus u vector is equal to integration a vector dt. This is most general form of the equation. That means finally we can remember this as our ultimate equation. V vector is equal to u vector plus integration a vector dt, and that runs from 0 to t. Now this is equation that encompasses or includes all the equations that we have talked about related to this v and a stuff. So if we say a is a constant, we can take this a outside, so it becomes a vector, and t that we have just talked about in constant acceleration case. Otherwise this is the most general equation, right? So that means if a is given to us, this equation will help us to find out the velocity at any time, including if we know this initial velocity u. Once we have calculated this v velocity, then what the next step would be, next demand will come for the displacement. So we will say this this definition. Also we know that v vector is defined as dr by dt. Now since we are able to find this velocity, so using this equation and repeating the similar calculation, we can find the displacement as well. So the next would be writing dr vector, which is going to be v vector dt, and then go for this integration both sides. So this is going to be integration of dr is equal to integration of v dt. Again we are going to place the limits. Here the limits has to be of time, so 0 to t. Here the limit has to be of position. If it starts from origin, so it's a 0 vector to r vector, and if it is starting from any other position, so you write the initial position and final position. So let me make in most general format. So we can say this is initial position vector to final position vector. If you simplify this, so we will get this kind of expression ultimately. That means final position minus initial position, that is basically displacement. So now it becomes displacement. This is equal to integration from 0 to t v dt. So you can remember in this format that this is going to be the vector equation for any motion, whether it's one-dimensional or multi-dimensional, or whether it's having a constant acceleration or variable acceleration. Now from where this v has to be calculated, this v has to be calculated from this particular calculation that we have already talked about. So this calculation will help us to find the v. Once we have calculated this v, we can place that v vector over here, go for the integration again, then we will get this displacement vector. So this is in nutshell the kinematics once we know this acceleration, and right, and this also includes the case when acceleration is a constant, because we need to simply say a is a constant, so we can take it outside and we can derive all the equations that we have used earlier. So let's take one example or two from this particular aspect as well. One more obvious point let me add over here, that this equation we will be using when this acceleration is given to us to find velocity, and then finding velocity to find the displacement. Of course there are other two equations which are equally important. If velocity is given to us and we need to find acceleration, so we know this is going to be the basic equation that we are going to use. And similarly, if displacement is given to us to find the velocity and acceleration, we are going to use this. So if the displacement is known to us, so from displacement we can find the velocity, and once we find the velocity we can come to this and use the velocity to find acceleration. And if acceleration is given to us, so we can use this equation to find velocity using acceleration. Then we can come back to this and use the velocity to find displacement. So this is how the cycle goes, and we can solve in either way. Either we will be using the differentiation or we will be using integration, and including the vectors. So if you look at carefully here, we are using all the mathematics that we have learned: vectors, differentiation, as well as integration. So let's say there is an example. It says a particle starts with this. So this is the initial velocity of the particle and has acceleration this. So that's acceleration. Here it's a t for time. So it will be mentioned that t is a time in second. Now after looking at the acceleration, we need to decide whether it's a constant or variable. Just like in the previous example, we had acceleration, or if we had acceleration, let's say this j cap plus k cap. So by looking this, we will be able to decide this is a constant because the magnitude is going to be constant, its direction is constant, no variable is involved. So that's going to be constant. So in that case, we can apply the equation relevant for constant acceleration. In this case, we need to see this acceleration in which the t is coming. T is a time, so time changes, hence acceleration changes, hence acceleration is a variable. So first we need to ensure what type of acceleration we have been given. So it's a variable acceleration, clear cut, and that's initial velocity, which is a constant because initial velocity is some given number and that has to be a constant. And it says find. So let's say there's a first part to find. It says find velocity at t equal to 1 second. So it's asking for velocity, that means magnitude and direction both has to be stated. And if it is asking particularly magnitude, then we can also work for that once we got the velocity. So what the idea is going to be, this is the initial velocity, u is given to us. This is acceleration, that is a is given to us. We need to find v, and so what we are not going to do this, that we should not place the t directly on this and make this some constant and then use v is equal to u plus at. That will become entirely wrong. So what is going to be the right step? So you can say use the equation that we have just talked about, v vector is equal to u vector plus integration a vector dd. So we were here and this integration has to be performed. Now I would suggest that you perform this from 0 to t. Don't put t equal to 1 initially, so that you will find this finally a general equation for any time t. So then whatever the t's values are given to you, you can keep on putting there in ultimately, right? So I'm integrating it from 0 to t so that we can get a general formula. So that will become a formula for particular question. And then we can use any value of t, whether it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever is given to us, we can put in this. So we can handle multiple questions by founding the general expression. Now let's put the value of u. So it's going to be I cap plus 2j cap plus k cap. And then go for this integration. So we need to place this value of acceleration, which is 2t I cap plus j cap. And we need to do this dot this dt, and then we need to place the limit. So again our limits are running from 0 to t. So this will become v vector is equal to, u will remain as such, this has to be integrated, and there are going to be two terms, so you go for both terms integration separately. I cap, j cap, they are constants, so treat them like a constant. So it's going to be I cap plus 2j cap plus k cap, that's the first term, or you can say the value of u. And in this integration, the first term, this integration is going to be integration of twice t with respect to t. So that becomes 2 into t square by 2, 2 and 2 getting cancelled, 0 to t limit. So we can directly write it's going to be t square I cap. Then go for the integration of the second part, which is 1 of integration of 1 is t. So that becomes t j cap. So finally we got to the velocity expression. That velocity expression ultimately is coming as 1 plus t square, that is coming with I cap, and with j cap you will find it's going to be 2 plus t with j cap, and k cap is coming as such, so that's a k cap. So that's the velocity. Now you can treat this as a formula. So for this particular question, this is a formula of velocity at any time, whatever the time it is asking for. And since we have chosen this t equal to 1, so you say at t equal to 1, our answer will become v vector is equal to, just place t as 1, so it's going to be 1 plus 1, that is 2 I cap, and then 2 plus 1, that is 3 j cap, and plus k cap. So this becomes velocity at t equal to 1 second. Let's say there would have been another question that find velocity at t equal to 5 second. So simply put t equal to 5 in this expression and you will get all the answers. That means this expression that we have derived, this has a capability to find the velocity at any instant. That means it talks about the velocity for all the times. And if somebody is asking find the magnitude, so you can calculate the magnitude of this vector. That's going to be quite simple, or at least you know the way how to find the magnitude. Second part, let's asking for the displacement. At t equal to any time, let's say t equal to 1 second, we are considering for simpler calculations. So you will find we need to find displacement. To find out this displacement, we need to know velocity. So this is the velocity, but we are not going to use this. Why? Because this is a particular velocity. So what we need to use? We need to use the general formula of velocity, which is this. So this is also useful to solve for the t time, general time, so that we can solve further questions like this. So what we are not going to place this v, what we are going to place this v. I hope it's making sense. So because this is a general formula, so we need to use the general expression for that matter. Anyway, so our idea is, or the formula that we have calculated or understood is this. Displacement, you can call it as r, which is going to be basically final position minus initial position. This is given as integration v dt, and that integration again going to be run from 0 to t. So we are going to derive again general formula, then finally we will place the t equal to 1. And then this is the v we have calculated, and we need to simply perform that integration, which you can easily perform 0 to t, and it's going to be 1 plus t square. It's a little bit lengthier, but ideas are clear what we are doing and how we are doing. There's a j cap and there's a k cap, and this all is to be integrated dt. So the displacement vector comes out to be r vector is equal to, you go for this different integration, then this separately, then the first has to be broken into two parts, and I cap, j cap, k cap are a constant, so this entire integration has to be performed. I'm trying to write it directly, and then you can take the baby steps to check whether you are getting the same stuff or not. So this first is going to be basically dt, so that will convert into t. Second term was t square, so that will convert into t cube by 3. So this will come with I cap, plus when you integrate the j cap term, then you are going to get some sort of this 2 into t, plus integration of t becomes t square by 2, this j cap, and finally it's going to be k, and that will come as a t, so it's going to be t times k cap. So this becomes the expression for displacement of a particle at any instant of time, and whatever is being asked, that is at t equal to 1, so you now simply place t equal to 1. So your r vector will come as, when we place it at 1, so it's going to be 1 plus 1 by 3, which will convert into 4 by 3 I cap, and this will become 2 plus 1 by 2, so that will become 4 plus 1, 5 by 2, so that's going to be 5 by 2. You can check the calculations, and finally you will get as a k cap. So these many meters is the displacement at t equal to 1 second. If you need to find the magnitude, you can go for the formula of getting magnitude out of a vector, and that will be giving you the magnitude. So this is the entire idea. So whenever you find this a to be variable, it's a function of t, it's going to be easier. First use this relation or this formula to find the velocity in general term, that means in terms of t, and then follow this formula and put that value of v to find r in terms of t, and then everything is solved. Making sense? Okay, so these are our answers. Let's take another example, and it reads a particle moves with velocity. So we have been given the velocity this time, and t is time in seconds. We need to find following quantities, or we need to answer the following parts. So let's say this first part is initial velocity. We need to find this initial velocity. So can we find the initial velocity out of this? Yeah, of course you will find this is going to be quite simple question, because this is the velocity at any time t. So initial velocity means velocity at time t equal to 0. So you will say that initial velocity is basically velocity at t equal to 0. So when the time is 0, whatever the velocity is, that's called initial velocity. So from here you can place the t equal to 0 in this expression, find the value of u. As you place t equal to 0, you will get your answer. So this u vector came out to be I cap meter per second. So we can claim the initial velocity is 1 meter per second in plus x direction. So that's the first part. Second part, let's say somebody is asking find acceleration at t equal to 2 seconds. So at any time acceleration we need to find. Point is, if the velocity is given to us, we can find the velocity at any time. Now next point is to find the acceleration at any time. In entire kinematics, let me repeat that point quickly. In entire kinematics, there are the three parameters that we focus upon: displacement, velocity, and acceleration. One will be given to us, rest we need to find out. Just like in previous example, A was given to us, we need to find V, we need to find this. In this particular example, V is given to us, we need to find displacement as well as the acceleration. So the entire story goes like this. Out of these three, one will be known to us, rest of the two we should be able to find out, and that's what we are practicing. So here we need to find acceleration. So first we need to know how we can get acceleration out of velocity. So we will come to know that we have formulas to do so. So acceleration is defined as per the definition, simply dv by dt. Now you got to know v, so it's going to be easy to handle. It's going to be d upon dt of v, and v is I cap plus t squared j cap plus 2t k cap. And here we are going to use the rules of differentiation. When you are differentiate this first term, which is I cap is a constant, so any constant, whether it's magnitude or direction, its differentiation is 0, so that becomes 0 vector. Plus, when you differentiate this t square, so I'm writing directly, this t square will come as a 2t j cap, and when you differentiate this 2t k cap, so it's going to be simply 2 k cap. So from here we are able to find the acceleration expression that came out to be, this acceleration is equal to 2t j cap plus 2 k cap. From here we can conclude something like that in x direction there is no acceleration, in y direction there is a variable acceleration there, and in z direction the constant acceleration. So basically this become our answer for acceleration at any instant of time. But we are interested to find this acceleration at t equal to 2 seconds. So we will be placing t as a 2 and solving it to find our numerical answer. So that will become a is equal to 4j cap plus 2k cap. That's the meter per second square. That's our answer. Now if somebody is interested for magnitude, you can find the magnitude out of it. So from velocity we are able to find what the acceleration is. And the C part, this is I am going to give you as a homework. So this also you need to try and find the answer of C part. And it says find displacement displacement of particle at t equal to 3 seconds. So here the velocity is known to us. We are looking for displacement, and at that t equal to 3 seconds. Similar question we had in the previous example. So you can take the clue from the previous example, solve this, and give the answer in the comment box. So this will be a practice question for you, and if you are able to solve this question, that will indicate that you have grasped these new notations, new calculations which you may not be familiar earlier. These new calculations are involving vector addition, vector concept, as well as integration concept, as well as differentiation concept. And over the time you will become used to with these calculations, and once you become used to, then you'll find entire journey is going to be very easy. So that's all for this video. In this video we have talked about the vector format of equations, whether they are for constant acceleration, whether they are for variable acceleration, whether they are for one-dimensional, whether they are for multi-dimensional. So that means today's lecture is quite important in covering this kinematics holistically. The rest is going to be simply studying the same thing in parts, like x component of motion, y component of motion, z component of motion separately, and this discuss the entire motion collectively. Okay, so in next video we will be moving forward. Thank you for watching. Have a good time.